Y'all ready to roll? You about to hear Paul Amadeus laying in these GLP-1 streets. Known by many as Paul on wheels. We making it do what it does, letting people know how I feel. Let's ride. We talking health, talking grind, breaking barriers clean. No excuses on the journey, we stay chasing the dream. Get your mind locked in, set your goals on repeat. We got ups, we got downs, but we still don't miss a beat. In GLP-1 streets, we moving with pride. Hear the trends, hear the winds, got creator worldwide. We make it do what it does, never stopping to climb. Living better every day, one step at a time. Shout out RMZ, always keeping it real. It's Darion with the fire, got the GLP-1 feel. DD the downsizing diva, Simba Tahisha in the zone. Losing it grace, bring the truth, steady holding on. Calamity Jane slide through, yeah, she bringing the flame. Perfectly Pamela moving strong, everybody know her name. Teddy D and Toby rolling steady on the rise. She's one-on-one locked in on that lifestyle prize. Traces of twine, showing how to stay consistent every day. Cookie cheering everybody on in a special way. May have Mindy been holding it down from the start. Purple bellflower, word hard. Slid right into them jeans, did her part. Met her to be keeping the conscience tight, keeping all of us in line just right. And a special shout out to the queen of GLP-1 street bar. Heather than he called, slaying this game for years. Someone we all look up to no matter the cost. Marjorie, Felicia, Murray B, and Joe's cross the sea. Yeah, this GLP-1 movement hits globally. We stay focused on the prize, on the life that we see. Welcome to these GLP-1 streets.
Welcome to these GL1P streets. What's going on? I'm Paul Amadeus laying that beautiful woman right there is Perfectly Pamela. I am so delighted to have y'all on this episode. And how did y'all like the new intro? And I gave a shout out to everyone. RMZ, you hear your name in that? Grays, you hear your name in that shout out? Calamity James, you hear your name in that intro? And Pamela, did you hear your name?
Man, hold up, Paul. You had me over here. If I wasn't going to be on camera, I would have been back here dancing. That was fire. Was fire. I love it.
Nah, I hear you. And I was going to do a video with it, but I'd have everybody's permission to use their likeness. So that's why I was like, okay, I don't want to get in trouble. And somebody said, take my image down. But once I get everyone's permission, I want to actually do a video with everybody in there. So that's kind of what we're going to do. So thank you so much for joining me, Pamela. It's been a long time coming. And before we jump into Pamela's amazing story, thank you so much for tuning in. If you can hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this episode, because her story, her journey is amazing. I don't know if you caught her interview on the Downsizing Divas channel. Pamela, I told her this when she was in the green room. I said she almost had me ugly cry in that interview. I mean, because we got a chance to meet you, Pamela. I mean, even though we get a chance to see you and all the content that you do, but to actually get a chance to hear your origin story, I think that was huge. I think that was really huge. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. My whole idea is if my story can help even just one person, it's worth putting it out there. So.
No, I definitely.
And I had such a good time with Dee Dee. We had so much fun on that interview.
Now, I hope I can be just as fun.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm ready.
But I don't know. But yeah, thank you again, Pamela, for being on the show. And we got to get Pamela. Are you at 1,000 subscribers yet?
I'm not. I think last I checked was 945. So I'm there. I'm close, but not quite. You can't see it. I have my what is it? My vision board back here above my little weight chart. Let me see. And one of my things on there was 1,000 subscribers within 2025. So I'm close, but I don't know.
You know, well, you know what? Okay, family, this is what we're gonna do. If you can share this on your post line right now, that'll be cool, because let's get Pamela to that 1,000 subscribers before this is over. Can we do that for her? Let's do that, And yeah, Cookie, did you hear your name in that song, Cookie? You even got a shout out in that song. Now,
yes, I heard that.
Now, Z, you're gonna be in the remix. I got a remix coming too, so that's what we're gonna do. But yeah. So, Pamela, let's get right into your story. Okay. So, Pamela, what was the main reason you wanted to try to get on a health and lifestyle journey, especially with a GLP-1? What was about it that attracted you?
Well, to be honest, I was actually kind of scared of a GLP-1 at first, so I was trying not to get on a GLP-1. So I knew from the time that I started struggling with my weight, I knew that I wanted to get it off. I wanted to get healthy again. And I was trying to do everything I could without having to have any type of medical intervention, any type of medicine or weight loss surgery or anything like that. So I was doing different diets. I was going to the gym, and some of them were successful. When I started doing the keto diet, I was 240 pounds, and I had lost about 65 pounds. So that was great. But I had a goal in mind when I started keto, because we had a trip planned to go to Jamaica, and I was like, okay, I got to get right before we go to Jamaica. So when you got that goal in mind, it's easier to stay consistent. Well, I knew going to Jamaica that I wasn't going to stay keto while I was there, because I wanted to enjoy all the food. And I did. And when I came back, I got on the scale and I had gained 10 pounds in those like 4 or 5 days that we were gone. And so, but my idea was, when I get back, I'm going to get right back on keto. And that didn't work. So after maybe about 3-4 months, I had put back on 20 pounds. And so I was like, okay, I got to get serious about keto. And so I tried doing keto again, and I just could not get the weight to come off. It was not successful. They say it's never as good as the first time. That's how it was with keto. I could never, no matter how many times I tried to go back and do keto again, I could not lose the weight again. And then I started asking myself, do I really want to do keto the rest of my life anyway? Because my family's from Louisiana. We eat rice almost every day. And I'm like, I'm not giving up rice for the rest of my life. I'm not going to give up my bread, my pasta. And so I was just like, I got to do something that's going to be sustainable for me. And we had a weight loss program through my job where they were offering different medications. So when I joined that the first time, and they put me on metformin, and then they added naltrexone, and then they added topiramate. And so I did that for maybe about a year, and only lost about 10 to 15 pounds in that time. And I didn't really like it. The metformin was giving me stomach cramps, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the way the topiramate made me. It was either the topiramate or the naltrexone. I can never remember which one it was, but one of them kind of gave me jitters. So I stopped doing that, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to start going back to the gym. And I had my bestie with me. Me and my bestie were going to the gym 5 days a week, and we were working out for like an hour and a half. And I wasn't seeing any results. So I had pretty much resolved that this is just me. This is what I'm meant to be. I'm not going to lose the weight. And then, within that time, I had the little heart scare. I went for my annual checkup, and my doctor's like, oh, I hear a little arrhythmia. So she ordered the test that does your heart scan or whatever, and it came back normal. So I was like, okay, well, at least that's good. But it did kind of put that fear in the back of my mind. And by this time, I was back up to around 200 pounds. And I'm like, just little scared. Or actually, I think I was back up to about 220 because that's about the time when my father passed away. And losing my father. Now, my father did have a heart condition. He had a pacemaker put in. He had emphysema, COPD, all the stuff. And he was in his early 80s, but he was perfectly healthy aside from what happened. I mean, at the time when he went to the hospital, he went for something completely unrelated. They did a surgery and a blood transfusion, and they were expecting him to go home. And his doctors were coming every day saying, oh yeah, he should be able to go home tomorrow. But they were like, well, his blood levels still aren't quite where we want them to be. And so the next day they would come, oh yeah, it should, maybe by tomorrow he'll be able to go home. And then, one day they came in to get him up, because they were walking him around and everything, and he just fell out, and that was it. And none of us expected it. Even after he passed and I went to the hospital, his doctor came in while I was in there, and he said, I never would have expected this. Mm-hmm. He said, I honestly thought he was going home today. And he, basically just, I'm so sorry, all the things. Well, and I just mentioned to you before we got on, that was on my brother's birthday, my oldest brother. Wow. And I didn't even realize at the time when we found out that he had passed that it was my brother's birthday until we text my brother, because, he's out of state. And we text him and he was like, oh, that's a great birthday present. And I was like, oh, crap. But so I just had that in the back of my mind about my father passing and everything. And then within the month, my brother passed, and we knew that he had the medical issues and everything, but we really don't know what caused his passing. But I guess it just kind of put that fear in my mind, because I remember very distinctly several nights trying to get to sleep, and I was feeling pressure on my shoulder and my arm, and I'm like, I don't really know what it was. It wasn't bad enough to where I thought, oh, I need to go to the hospital, but I didn't know what it was, and it kind of scared me. And so I was thinking, is this related to my heart? Is it just related to my weight? Is it just my my nerves? Is it, your mind starts racing. And of course, with my brother's passing and my father's passing fresh on my brain, I'm thinking, what if I don't wake up tomorrow and my kids come in here and they find me? How is that going to affect them having to live the rest of their life knowing they came in and found their mother like this? And it's something that I possibly could have prevented. Because in my mind, it was all related to my weight, because every time I would go to the doctor, she'd be like, okay, you need to lose some weight. You need to lose some weight. Your blood pressure's high. Everything was related to my weight. And so I was like, I got to do something. So I went back to the program at work and I signed up for that again. And I believe it was probably 2 weeks into it, I took and again, I can't remember whether it was the topiramate or the naltrexone, but one of those I took. And that night I had to go pick my daughter up from work, and I got on the freeway and I flat out had a panic attack. I thought everybody on the road was trying to run me off the road. Everybody was out to get me. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? I've never had anxiety like that before or anything. And my hands were shaking. And the next day when I woke up, I felt horrible. I really thought that I was dying. But I knew it was the medicine because I didn't feel it until I took the medicine. And so I was like, I'm never taking that again. So I just dropped out of that program right then, and I started looking up the GLP-1s. And the way that I had heard about GLP-1s was through that program, because when I signed up the second time, they asked me, was I interested in one? And I was like, what's a GLP-1? And they said that it's an injection. And I was like, oh no, I don't want that. And because I didn't know what it was. I had heard of Ozempic, but I didn't know Ozempic was a GLP-1. And I didn't know about Mounjaro, Zepbound, or Wegovy. Ozempic was the only one I had heard of. And so I had no clue that they were all somewhat related or the same type of medication and how they worked or anything. But I knew that it was an injection and I didn't want to do an injection. I was like, nope, that's not for me. But then after that scare with the medicine and the way it made me feel, and I knew I couldn't take it again, I was like, maybe I should try GLP-1. You know, maybe it's worth it. If it can help me get this weight off and not have that same type of reaction that I had with the anxiety and the jitters and just feeling like my heart was racing, about to pop out of my body, I was like, maybe it's worth it. So I knew my insurance didn't cover it because, again, that program was through my job, and they had explained that it's only covered if you have diabetes. And I'm not a diabetic, so I was like, okay, it's not, my insurance isn't going to cover it, so what can I do? And you know how your phone is always listening to you.
Yeah.
So I had talked about it, and I had also started searching. So of course I'm getting on Instagram and Facebook, and then I start seeing all these telehealth ads for GLP-1s. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to start looking into these telehealth companies. And, you know, I had to do my research. I wanted to know, you know, what was this company all about? What are they charging? What am I going to pay? What am I signing my life away? Are they going to start taking money out? Because, you know, sometimes you sign up for something, you don't even know it's a subscription. They got your card number, and you got to dang near get lawyers to get out of that, whatever you signed up for. So I was like, I don't want to do any of that. I want to make sure it's a reputable company. If it's something I'm going to inject into my body, I want to make sure I'm getting it from a reputable pharmacy. And I don't want any place where I'm just going to call them and they're going to say, oh yeah, here you go, we'll ship it to you. And it's not legit. So I just sat down one day and I started scrolling through. I think it was like 2 or 3 hours. Every time one would pop up on my phone, I would write it down. And I made a spreadsheet. I still have it in my computer of all these different telehealth companies. And so once I found about 50 of them, I started Googling them. And I was like, I want to know, what is their rating with the Better Business Bureau? And what type of reviews do they have? So that was kind of where I started, is, you know, what the reviews looked like and if they had a bad score with the Better Business Bureau. Once I kind of narrowed it down from there, I started going and I was looking at their websites and what are their prices. If they charged a monthly subscription fee, they were off the list. And if they didn't have their prices on their website, I scratched them off the list. I want transparency. I want to know what I'm gonna pay up front. And so I narrowed it down to like 3 companies, 51040 or 510, something like that. I don't even remember. It wasn't one of the ones I ended up choosing. And Care Clinics, and then I can't remember what the third one was, but I ended up going with Care Clinics mainly because they were here in the Houston area. And I found out that they worked with Empower Pharmacy, which is also in the Houston area. So then when I started looking at those and seeing what pharmacies they work with, I was like, okay, I'm going to Google the pharmacies. So I was like, all right, same thing, Better Business Bureau, Reddit, everything. And I was like, okay, Empower seems legit. So that's why I ended up going with, and it was right before Black Friday. So I got in on a deal where I think I got my first month for like 400, or my first 3 months for $450. And so I was like, okay, that's pretty good. and that's what started it all off. You know, I got on it, and you know, it's been just over a year now, 50 pounds down. So
that's awesome. I kind of want to unpack some of the things that you mentioned before. You said you didn't want the redacted version of the price. You wanted to see the price. You don't want no redacted version, right? We know about the redactions going on in the news right now, right?
Yes.
But And also one common thread that I notice about all of us in this community is that many of us did keto before. I know I did keto before, and it seems like a lot of us, the next maturation of our weight loss journey is a GLP-1. And so that really resonated with me. And I'd like to thank everybody who's in the chat right now. Pamela, I need to ask you a favor. Everybody's in the chat now. Is it okay if I rock that intro one more time that everybody in this chat can hear their name?
Go, man, come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So for everyone, you missed in the beginning. Some of you missed an intro. And huge shout out to my man RMZ. RMZ is a huge 49er fan. And the fact that he's watching this live right now when the 49ers are playing, I mean, that means a lot. So
right?
I tell you what. Okay, so I am going to play this intro one more time, and then Pamela and I are going to get back to her story, all right? This is a special intro. Let me get it. And here we go.
All right, roll. You about to hear Paul Mama Dear's Lane in these GLP-1 streets. Known by many as Paul on wheels. We making it do what it does, letting people know how I feel. Let's ride. We talking health, talking grind, breaking barriers clean. No excuses on the journey, we stay chasing the dream. Get your mind locked in, set your goals on repeat. We got ups, we got downs, but we still don't miss a beat. In GLP-1 streets, we moving with pride. Hear the trends, hear the winds, got creator worldwide. We make it do what it does, never stopping the climb. Living better every day, one step at a time. Shout out RMZ, always keeping it real. It's Darion with the fire, got the GLP-1 feel. DD the downsides and Diva, Sympathisha in the zone. Losing it grace, bring the truth, steady holding on. Calamity Jane slide through, yeah, she bringing the flame. Perfectly Pamela moving strong, everybody know her name. Teddy D and Toby rolling steady on the rise. He's one-on-one locked in on that lifestyle prize. Traces of twine, showing how to stay consistent every day. Cookie cheering everybody on in a special way. Mayor Mindy been holding it down from the start. Purple bellflower, word hard. Slid right into them jeans, did her part. Met her to be keeping the conscience tight, keeping all of us in line just right. And a special shout out to the queen of GLP-1 street bar. Headed any call, slaying this game for years. Someone we all look up to no matter the cost. Marjorie, Felicia, Murray B. And Joe's cross the sea. Yeah, this GLP-1 movement hits globally. We stay focused on the prize, on the life that we see. Welcome to these GLP-1 streets.
All right, y'all. That was the intro. So I wanted everybody who's in here to hear their name that was in there. Gave a shout out to Simply Taisha, RMZ, Harjareen, Cookie, everybody, and Bellflower. I said she done slid up into them jeans. So Bellflower, we talked about your accomplishment too. So that's what we do. You know, just my way of giving back to this community. Like I told Pamela before, I was going to do a video with everybody's image in it, but I'd have everybody's permission to do it. So I didn't want to get hit with no kind of, flags or anything without anybody's, permission. But I will be reaching out to everybody personally. Give me your permission. I'll put the video together and we'll definitely do it. So, but back to you, Perfectly Pamela. Okay, check this out. So when you decided to get on this GLP-1, did your family know about it? Were there haters out there who knew about it? And how did you kind of overcome that?
So when I decided I was going to do this, I was like, I'm not telling anybody, because I related it to Ozempic, and I had heard all the talk about, everybody on Ozempic just, looking like death and blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to hear that. So I was like, I'm not going to tell anyone. But then, of course, when it got time to take my first injection, I was so scared. I'm sitting there with the syringe and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. I'm scared. And so after I gave the injection, I was like, okay, it wasn't that bad. But then I started getting cotton mouth and I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel something. I don't know. And I was like, what if I don't wake up tomorrow? That thought started coming back. And so I was like, I got to at least tell somebody. So who am I going to tell? So I told my oldest daughter, because I'm like, she's the one that I can trust more than anybody in the world. And I know she got a big mouth. I can't say she ain't gonna tell nobody. She probably went and told my second daughter right then, but but I was like, I gotta tell somebody. So I'm gonna tell her. So at least if something happens, somebody knows what happened. But you know, she kind of had in her mind the same fears that I had about a GLP-1.
Mm-hmm.
But again, she didn't really know a whole lot about it either. And so after a couple of weeks, and she started seeing, now mind you, I started on November 22nd, so right before Thanksgiving. So I went to her house for Thanksgiving, and so she saw that I wasn't eating like we normally would on Thanksgiving. I didn't pile my plate up or anything, and even the stuff that I did put on my plate, I couldn't eat. And me and her, I'm just going to say mother-in-law, it's her fiance's mother, but me and her mother-in-law were talking. Apparently her mother-in-law had been on a GLP-1 for some time too. And so me and her were having conversations about it. And so my daughter's out there listening. And of course, my daughter was struggling with her weight too. In about a month, she was like, so what do I need to do to get on that? And so I'm like, okay, yeah, she's starting to see the progress. By the time she got on it, I had lost about 10 pounds. So she's like, okay, this is actually working. You still alive. So maybe it is safe.
That's cool.
But that was the first person I told. And really, I didn't tell anybody else for a while. I think my best friend was the second person I told. And I think that was like maybe a month and a half into it.
You know, I was kind of strange with mine. Like I did not tell my family at all. I have a sister that's on Ozempic, and I didn't even tell her because what I wanted to do was show her kind of the right way to do it, following the script. Because sometimes, you know, we get these medications, and like Judge Judy said, we make it up as we go along, and we don't get any kind of lasting success. So I was like, I'm gonna show Big Sis, you know, this is how you do it, you know, this is how you, and then other family members, nothing. But I would go to restaurants and eating, oh, are you full? Like, I love Brazilian steakhouses. So I Fogo de Chao, Texas de Brazil, those are all my jams, you know, before I got on GLP-1. So some of the waitresses there who know me as a regular, they're like, is that all you gonna have, Paul? I'm like, yeah, I'm on them shots now. I would tell them, I'm on them shots now. And so I would tell everybody else, but not my close family. But about 3 or 4 months into, because I started mine February 14th. So by the time I started, about 3 months later, I didn't care who knew. You know, I would tell friends, family, you know, just to see what's up. And did you get some friends and family to kind of say, oh, don't take that because you're going to get Ozempic face, you're going to get Ozempic booty, you're going to get all this? And then I would tell them I ain't got no booty anyway. So what's going to be the difference with me? But were those some of the naysayers? Did they come at you like that?
See, here's the thing. I still haven't really like my YouTube and my other social media have been completely separate until this weekend. I have never even once posted anything about it on my Instagram or my Facebook. I've never told anybody else in my family until I did mention it to my mother on Thanksgiving of this year, because she was asking about how I lost the weight. And my mother's deaf for one, so she's not out there talking, and she doesn't hear a whole lot about all of this. So she's not familiar with Ozempic, none of them. So she was asking me about what it was and everything, but none of my extended family, like my kids know, but my extended family don't really know. And my two best friends are really the only friends that know, other than now that I posted Dee Dee's interview on my Instagram and Facebook. So I'm sure some other people know now, but nobody has said anything. So no, I haven't had any of the negativity. So I mean, I guess the good thing about it, if I look at it from this perspective, because I didn't say anything in the beginning, and now if you look at me from then and now, and you just see the success, and you don't, you know, you're not looking ahead and saying, oh, don't do it because you might, end up with a third arm or something, versus you see that I've already been on it a year and it's been successful. So, and I haven't grown a third arm.
Yeah, I want to give you a shout out too for being a coda, and being in the disabled community. I run around, I come around people who are children of deaf adults and everything. And you said your mom was deaf, and that when I heard that in Dee Dee's interview, that's why you are so nice. Because your mother has a disability, and you were around that, and you can always tell somebody who's been around somebody with a disability. It's you can just tell it's a different type of person. They have a different type of empathy, different type of mindset. And thank you for sharing that. And tell your mom. I used to know sign language before I had my spinal cord injury. I can't do it anymore, but give your moms a greeting for me when you see her.
I will.
And Grace talked about this. She left a message on Dee Dee's live. I'm sorry, Taisha's live before we got on. And I think Grace was saying that, and Grace, correct me if I'm wrong, that you kind of felt bad that you didn't get on this journey sooner rather than later. And correct me if I'm wrong, Grace, if I'm putting words in your mouth, but I thought that was the nexus of it. Did you ever feel that way, Pamela, that, I wish I would have did this sooner rather than later? Did you go through those pendulum of emotions too?
Yeah. I mean, again, I didn't really know what a GLP-1 was, other than I had heard of Ozempic. But even when I did find out, I started when I did find out, I would have been about a year ahead of where I am now. And so I think I even mentioned to Dee Dee that I think that's my only regret, is that I didn't start sooner. As far as taking the injections and getting on a GLP-1, I have no regrets whatsoever. And I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. And anybody who is even considering, but they're a little scared, or they're not sure, I would encourage them to just do it. Just do it, because one, you never know until you try, but two, it's not as bad as people make it out to be. And even if you're scared of injections, scared of needles, it's not that bad at all. And after you've done like 2 or 3 injections, it's like you're a pro at it. You just go in there and do it. It's nothing.
No.
And
I totally get that. No, this is what Cookie said. I wanted to pull this up. She said, one of my brothers saw how successful his little sister has been on Zepbound, and he started on last week and dropped 8 pounds. Wow. He wants to drop 40 total. He's well on his way. Yeah. Cookie, tell your brother, keep going. And if you can, put your brother in contact with RMZ. Make sure he watches some of RMZ's videos. And Teddy D's videos. And even G's 1 of 1, to get a good rounded male perspective of how this game works out. But thank you for sharing that. And I just want to say this, and RMZ, you can back me up on this. All right, check this out. Y'all are GLP-1 sisters. You all are beautiful. I mean, I look at everybody's transformation from Pamela, from Dee Dee, from Taisha, to Grace, Cookie, Calamity Jane. I wish we had pictures of Purple Bellflower and Z. But I understand. They want to be anonymous. But yeah, I just want to give shouts out. You all are beautiful in and out, and we really enjoy amplifying your stories too. And this is what Grace had to say. Grace had this to say. She said, "Oops, Grace, did I Grace? Me and my quadriplegic hand, I done messed up the comment. Grace, send that comment over again, please. I had fumble fingers, so." But RMZ said, no more Fogo de Chao. It's not cost effective. And I'm gonna tell you a funny story. And if you all have any questions for Pamela, please put it in the chat. Do a QQQ, and please, we'd love to get Pamela's viewpoint. So Pamela, this was my Fogo de Chao The story is my second week on the shot. I was at work on a work assignment. So I'm like, I was downtown LA, not too far from the crypto arena. So I'm in there and I'm like, I'm gonna get some Brazilian barbecue. And I ate like I always ate, right? And that was the first time I ever experienced a blowout.
Oh my.
Yeah. And the blowout came in the middle of the night. Now remember, I cannot get up and go to the bathroom. So here I'm in.
No. Oh God.
Here I am in this hotel, right?
Oh, in a hotel too. That's even worse.
So, just needless to say, I had to tip my housekeeper. I had to be pretty deep with that tip right there.
Oh, Lord. I'm sure she was probably looking for a new job after that.
Yeah, she probably was, because I know how them blowouts are. Them blowouts ain't firm. Blowouts ain't firm. It's like, I don't want to gross nobody out, but it's kind of like the chocolate fountain in Willy Wonka. That's kind of like how it is. I'm sorry. I hope y'all had dinner. Here's a question from Grace, Perfectly Pamela. Grace says, what are your 2026 health and YouTube goals?
Okay. Actually, Grace asked another question too that I saw a little bit earlier in the chat. I want to answer that.
Okay, please do.
Well,
please do.
But I'll answer this one. So my 2026 health goals, one, I would hope to reach an ideal body weight for my height and go into maintenance. That's my first goal. And then again, I'm just going to continue on my journey. I want to start working more on strength training, because I do it a little bit here and there, but I'm not as consistent as I need to be. And again, we know with these GLP-1s and even with any rapid weight loss that you're going to lose a lot of muscle if you're not, doing the things that you need to be doing. And I am notorious for not being consistent with my exercise. I have a tendency to be very lazy at times, and I have the mind that I want to do it, but the will just isn't there sometimes. So I purposely put all of my workout equipment here in my office, because sometimes we have meetings at work, and I was like, I can use that time to just get on my bike for 30 minutes, or get on my treadmill for 30 minutes, or even on my 15-minute break, I can just pick up my little hand weights and do some strength training. But it's still not as consistent as I would like it to be. So that's going to be one of my main focuses, is trying to be consistent with my strength training and build some muscle. But I also, again, want to get to an ideal body weight. My goal, I would say, is to be around 25% body fat. And I think I'm hovering around 29-30 right now. So we'll see. That as far as my YouTube channel, I can't really say I put a goal for 2026. I've had in my mind that for 2025, it was 1,000 subscribers, but for 2026, I'd like to maybe double that. I don't know. I guess I'd have to see how the first month or so goes, because I feel like the higher your subscriber count gets, the more subscribers you get a little faster, because it's getting out more. But I also want to refocus some of my content more on centering around the compound part of it. I think that a lot of people are losing coverage for their insurance, and some people may just be like, if I can't afford the brand, I'm just not going to do anything. Some people are looking into compounding. And so I want to be able to be a resource for the compound piece of it. And so I do feel like I want to educate myself a little bit more on that, though, because I know what I know about compounding, but I don't know a whole lot about what else is out there. I mean, I know the whole ordeal that happened with Mochi, and I know there's a couple of other telehealth companies out there right now that maybe aren't so legit. And so, but I want to be able to be more of a resource. And even with the more of the new GLP-1s that are coming out, I want to educate myself more on that, so that I can be more of a resource for the community. But I would say that's probably my goals that I have in mind for right now. As far as the other question, Grace asked about the prices being lowered on the brand medication and if I would consider going over to brand, because now that the vials are getting fairly reasonable, maybe still not quite, but I actually
You said that with a straight. You said that with a straight face too, Pamela. You said it with a straight face. You get props for that. You get props for that.
I don't want to get into politics or nothing like that, but that most favored nation, I think I was hopeful when I heard about it, but my bubble was burst real quick when I started hearing about the other countries' prices going up. And I was like, well, that's just horrible. How are you going to make it more expensive for people in other countries now that they've been on it and now you're raising the price so they can't afford it? That's just ridiculous to me. And I think most of us know that the price could still be lower. And granted, they have a patent, they're entitled to be compensated for coming up with the medication in the first place and the research that they did. And, we all know that and agree that, yes, it shouldn't be as cheap as a compound, because a compound is, I know it's not a generic, but it's kind of the same thought process, I guess. It's a step below the brand, if you look at it like that. So yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be as low as compound, but it still doesn't have to be as expensive as it is. And right now, for my compound, the last order that I placed lasted me, what did I calculate it to? 16 injections, so 4 months. And I paid $750. So basically, if you do the math, that came up to less than $200 a month.
Yeah.
So to go to the brand, it would still be a good chunk of change more than that. And, with the brand, to get the best price on those vials, you have to order every 45 days or, between 30 to 45 days, or the price is going to jump up another $100. And so they don't have it where you can buy like right now I'm on 7.5. I can't buy the prescription of the 15 milligram and spread it out over 2 months, because then my price is going to jump up the next time I order. So, and they intentionally did it like that. They're the vials that they send out when you order from them, you're not getting one vial with, 60 milligrams of medication in it. You're getting 4 vials, 1 for each injection. Yeah. So,
that bothers me because they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they know. And it's like, come on, y'all. I mean, just have a shred of humanity. That's all. A shred of decency. That's all. Try to give people a chance to try to just get a little come up with it. And I didn't notice about Taisha. Taisha, I'm gonna share this. And Taisha, I didn't realize about her coverage. About she had one more required appointment in January and see definitive answer. Okay. So Taisha, are you saying like right now you're not covered for 2026? Is that what you're saying? Please leave that in the chat. While Grace has another question right here.
Okay.
Grace said, Pamela, is compound mixed with something else?
It depends. So Hallandale, one of the compounding pharmacies, they do not have theirs mixed with anything. So depending on which pharmacy you go to, some of them may have, I've seen a lot of them mix theirs with either glycine. Niacinamide is the one I get from Empower a lot. I've ordered from Empower and Hallandale. So I've had it both with and without. And to be honest, I don't notice a difference between the effectiveness. The niacinamide is actually good for your skin. So that's why I was like, hey, I can take that. They have some that have B12 in them, or there's a couple of other things that different pharmacies mix theirs with. So it just depends. And I think there's also a misconception that some people have, and I'm not saying, Grace, that you have this or anything, but just in case anybody does, adding that additional ingredient does not decrease the level of the tirzepatide at all. So when you're getting, if say for me, my injection right now is 75 units equals 7.5 milligrams. It's still going to be 7.5 milligrams, whether niacinamide is in it or it's just the straight tirzepatide. So it's not like you have to account for an extra ingredient to, it's not like you have to give more to account for that extra ingredient. The way they compound it, it's still going to be the same milligrams per unit regardless.
Thanks for clearing that up. And Taisha giving some clarification on her situation. She's covered by TRICARE for life. Okay. My copay is currently $0, but I know I'll go back. It's okay. Got you, Taisha. It sounds good. RMZ, he says this compound is legit alternative, but they're working to take that away. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
And again, you can ask why, why they want to do. I mean, people are trying to get healthy. If they want everybody to get healthy, they need to make sure that their product is economical, because this is the reality of it, Pamela. If some of us never went to the GLP-1 route, we would have a lot more comorbidities and be more of a, I don't want to say drain, because when we're sick, we need help. That's what insurance is for. But, the resources would not be diverted more for our care if we can do all this preventative stuff. And it's very, very interesting. Okay. Now, Pamela, when you got on your compound, did you have to ask them what was it mixed with, or did they come out and say, okay, you're going to get this tirzepatide with XYZ?
Right. No, they told me up front what it was mixed with. And actually, now that I'm with Lavender Sky Health, they have it all on their website. So you can go, that's the one thing that because, like I told you, I wanted to see what's on their website, what their prices are, all of that. So with the care clinics, the first telehealth company I went with, they only had one option, and that was the tirzepatide with niacinamide. And they didn't have it listed on their website that it had niacinamide in it, but when I had my appointment, she explained it.
Okay.
But Lavender Sky Health, they list all of the different pharmacies that they work with. They list what states those pharmacies are allowed to ship to, and they list what they compound it with. And they even have different packages. So like, say, for instance, Hallandale, you can get either a 20 milligram vial, you can get a 40 milligram vial, you can get a 60 milligram vial, an 80 milligram vial, or 136 milligram vial. And you pay based on the size of the vial that you're getting, not on your dosage. So, and they have all of those prices listed out. So that's what I love about them, is you can look at all the different prices from the different pharmacies and say, okay, well, let me check out this pharmacy. And so from there, I'll go and I'll start looking. I'll look at the Facebook group now, because Lavender Sky has a Facebook group, but I'll look at the Facebook group, and then I'll also go to Reddit and see what are people saying about that particular pharmacy and how effective it is versus Hallandale or Empower, the two that I'm familiar with. And if it sounds legit, then I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go with this one because it's cheaper. Like, yeah, right now I think BPI is the cheapest one, but I haven't researched them yet. I'm almost ready to place my next order. So
there you go, doing that research. Give a shout out to King Darium. Dan, make sure you go back to the beginning of this. We have a nice little track about these GLP-1 streets, and words on the street is you get a shout out in that song. So make sure you check that out. Okay, Taisha had another question. Okay. Taisha says, if compound and name brand are exactly the same efficacy, why do people do both? Why not just do compound if they are the same? Hopefully this is coming out right.
I'm going to say, and I don't know, I don't do both because I'm not about to pay a good pretty penny for the brand just yet. But I think some people do both because maybe they do have it covered through their insurance, but they're paying a higher copay. Like I know one person specifically that they do have insurance coverage for it, but they still have to pay a good amount. So they also have a telehealth company to kind of bridge the gap. So they're getting it through their regular medical doctor, and their medical doctor is their primary care physician is following their journey, but they also have their telehealth companies for the months that they can't afford that prescription. So
sounds good.
Now, I can't speak for everybody, but that's just one particular case that I know of.
There you go, Pamela. We got about 10 minutes. I don't want to keep you because I'm on the West Coast. It ain't even 7 o'clock yet. What time is it out there in H-Town?
It's 10 to 9.
Okay, 10 to 9, 10 to 9. So as you look back on your journey, what okay, one of the things I definitely want to tackle in your videos, you show us how to meal prep. I think that's huge for us to do. Where do you find all these little containers and everything to do these meal prep? Because I'm like, did you research that too?
Well, Amazon, you can find anything on Amazon. You from car parts to baby supplies to meal prep containers. Amazon got everything. So I actually started doing meal prepping way back when I was doing keto. And so that's how I originally started purchasing the meal prep containers. They have them in grocery stores now too, but it's so much cheaper to buy them in bulk on Amazon. So that's usually what I do. But when I started doing it again on my GLP-1, I just went back in my Amazon history and I was like, okay, these were the ones that I ordered and I liked. So started ordering them again.
Now, I like how practical, you approach things. You and Graves, the way you do what you eat in a day and all this really helps us out and others out there too. Before I share a photo of something that you've been doing lately, I want to talk about that. Well, what has been the biggest challenge on this journey for you, Pamela? What's take us through, your good days, your bad days, when you're like, I'm done with this or I'm on the right track. And then how do you gather yourself back and be like, yeah, I am on this right track?
God, I'd like to say exercise has been my biggest challenge, but I'm not even going to say it's that. It's those darn nerd clusters. Man,
I heard about the clusters.
Them nerd clusters are like, I don't know why they like, okay, is it Friday? The Pookie where it just be calling me, man. It just be,
oh yeah,
clusters do me. They just be calling me. And
Scotty,
even
we calling me, Scotty, we calling me.
Even with the GLP-1, they have a tendency to overreach the food noise suppression.
Yeah.
And so I would say that has been one of my biggest challenges. And I've had a couple of people tell me in my comments, just don't have them in the house. And sometimes that's easier said than done, because you go to the gas station, they right there. You go to the dollar store, they right there. You go to the grocery store, and sometimes the temptation is just there. It might be, the day before my shot day, and I'm like, I'm just going to pick it up. I'm not going to eat the whole bag. And before you know it, I barely make it to the car and half the bag is gone. So
I'll be like, I'm just going to smell it. That's all. I ain't going to eat it. I just want to.
I ain't going to eat it. I'm just going to smell it.
Yeah, I just want to get that aroma on. But and you know what? Mine was tahini gummy bears, and I haven't had a tahini gummy bear since I started on the GLP-1. And I know you're the one that peeped me on game with the shameless snacks. So I got some of those. Those are good.
Oh,
I really
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
And I'm showing a picture right here, Pamela. Now you've been doing something. Congratulations on your first kind of, I guess, endorsement deal. First, second, and tell us these two photos right here. Well, what's the difference? Because I see you got it going on in that bottom one.
So yeah, the top one, if I remember correctly, the top one, my arm circumference was about 15 and a half inches. And in the bottom one, it's like maybe 3/4 of an inch smaller. And so what it is it's a cavitation machine. And so if you hear of like laser lipo or red light therapy, things like that, it's in that category. So it's the machine that I got. It has red light therapy, radio frequency, and cavitation. So there's 3 parts to it. The radio frequency basically kind of heats up the fat in your fat cells, and the red light therapy tightens up your skin. It increases collagen production. And then the cavitation breaks up those fat cells. So if you look at it like, okay, if you've ever cooked bacon before, you know, when you're cooking bacon, you got the hot bacon grease, it's a liquid, but then once you leave that in your pan on the stove, it solidifies. So if you think of your fat in that kind of way, is, you know, the fat is more of a solid until it heats up. And then when you break up those fat cells, it's able to release that liquid. And then it also has a like a vacuum wand on it, and basically they're little wands that you hold, and you just kind of rub it on whatever area that you're working on. And so the vacuum kind of helps move things along and get that fat to your lymphatic system. It helps increase your lymphatic system production. So all of that fat can be released through your urinary tract or through sweat. How, you know, it comes out through your glands and when you go to the restroom. And so I used that for that particular picture was just 6 sessions. And typically they say you get anywhere from 6 to 12 sessions to see optimal results. And most sessions last around 30 minutes to an hour and a half. So I was doing the minimum. I was doing 30 minutes because I was like, when I got it to test it out, I was like, I want to just do one arm and see the difference between my 2 arms. And there's a bit like, I've got to go back and do the other arm because I'm looking like a lopsided Popeye over here with one big arm and one a little bit smaller. But I was like, I just want to do one arm because I want to be able to see the difference. And I'm just going to focus on that one area for the 6 weeks that I have to test out this machine. And I didn't even do it as much as they recommend. You can do a treatment every 72 hours, so 3 days between. And I was doing it like maybe once to sometimes twice in a week. And that's the kind of results that I got after just six 30-minute treatments.
Wow, so, that's pretty awesome. And you mentioned Popeye. See, I have an ADHD mind, so when you mentioned Popeye, I went to like the trivia question. Okay. What's the difference between Bluto and Brutus? Bluto and Brutus. What's the difference?
Oh my God, I'm trying to, man, my memory is like this, so I can barely even remember the cartoon, but
yeah, I'm taking you back. So
Bluto was the kind of ditzy one. Brutus was the big, strong one.
Well, you got absolutely. Yeah. Brutus was a really buff one, and Bluto was the one that had the big belly.
I'm glad you pay you Tuesday for a burger today.
No, that was Wimpy. That was Wimpy.
Wait, that's a different card. See, I told you my memory.
Yeah, but it was like Bluto and Brutus. So yeah, that's who it was. So that's what my mind went. Gray says, Pamela, will you consider any loose skin surgery?
Probably not. Mainly because I can't afford it. That is expensive. And yeah. And especially now that I've tried this cavitation machine and I've seen how good it works in such a short period of time, I don't necessarily feel like I need it. I do have some loose skin. Like I still have a lot of fat under my arm, on the backside of my arms. And I have some loose skin on my thighs and a little bit around my belly, which I'm surprised I don't have more, but I don't feel like I would even need it if I'm using this machine regularly.
Mm-hmm. I need that machine. I really do, because I got the Bluto, so I gotta take care of that Bluto.
Yeah.
So
I'm telling you, it's definitely worth the investment, because if you compare it to the price of going to a spa to get the treatments, you basically pay for it in one treatment.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Now you've done a couple of interviews, and did you ever leave the interview saying, "Man, I wish I would have said this during the interview"? If so, what is one thing you wish you would have mentioned on on the interviews that you've been a part of that if you had a do-over, you would say?
God, see, and I told you before, I'm very bad with coming up with things on the spot and even after the fact, trying to go back and remember. But first, I do want to say, when you mentioned about the ladies in this GLP-1 community and how beautiful, on behalf of all the ladies in this community, I want to say thank you. And I also want to say that I think the same goes for the men in this community. I absolutely love the fact that I see so many men in this community, especially men of color, because we know that that is the least likely group of men to seek out healthcare and to really take care of themselves, and based on statistics, the most needed. So I appreciate you, RMZ. If you're still there, I appreciate you too, because you're like a pioneer for that.
Oh, yeah.
And I absolutely love it. That touches my heart to the core. So thank you guys for being advocates for the men in this community.
Thank you, Pamela. And RMZ is the reason why I rebranded my whole YouTube channel. And I was even thinking about creating a new one, because the one I have now I've had for going on 15 years. So my analytics is like everywhere. And so I'm toying around with just creating a brand new channel from scratch, because my analytics are bipolar right now. They don't know what to do and what to push out. But thank you. And one thing that I noticed too, and it's well known in the tech world, because I'm a tech journalist as well too, and it's well known in the tech world that YouTube suppresses certain type of faces when it comes to content. There is no reason why RMZ should not be pulling 30 or 40,000 views
Right.
on his channel, because he has some amazing content.
Yes.
There's no reason, Pamela, why you should not be over 1,000 and having a lot of watch hours. Taisha the same way. Dee, Grays, everybody should be double. But and I don't want to sound conspiratorial, but it makes you wonder. RMZ has, hands down, for a man, the best story when it comes to GLP-1.
Yes.
I will say that hands down. For what he was able to do, lose all that weight, former athlete, core morbidities, and you mean to tell me he's not up there at the top in these views? And there's a way we can break this algorithm to make sure that we can get these messages out. But YouTube does suppress messages. It's a well-known fact in the tech world. But we just keep on pushing. We just keep on going.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna let it stop us. We're not gonna let it stop us.
Right.
So your video about the machine that just dropped last week. So make sure you check out Perfectly Pamela's video on that. And Pamela, before I let you go, anything else you'd like to share out there with the GLP-1 audience? Anything else that we didn't get a chance to go over as far as your journey? When you do start talking about compounding more, will you have an affiliate link so ones can sign up? Is that on the horizon for you?
I don't quite have an affiliate. And Amazon won't let me even create an Amazon store yet, but I do have a link to the machine, and there is a discount code, and so it makes it like just over $200. I'm promoting Iuga. Iuga is my favorite activewear. I love them to death, and so I got that in my bio, I believe, on my channel. But I'm looking at all these comments, and I'm just amazed at everybody that's in here and how supportive that this community has been. And so thank you, Dee Dee. I'm trying, girl.
No, we're gonna get you there, Pamela. We're gonna get you there, because you have an amazing. I remember, even before Grace got to 1,000, and look at her now. She's like killing it.
Yeah.
So
Grace is blowing up. Like, girl, you are killing it. And thank you for your comment, and thank you, RMZ, for the sub. I appreciate that.
And Darian has. We'll look at the chat. Darian said you're doing well, Pamela. I'm enjoying. Yeah, cue of the day is really cool. And Pamela, you funny even when you're not trying to be funny. And I commented on a couple of your videos. I think when you were first trying on your Ayuga wear, and you made a comment, and I was like, and you weren't even trying to be funny, but it had me cracking up. You was like, you remember that comment?
I don't even remember. Yeah, I'm telling you, the older I get, the shorter my memory gets. I don't know what it is. I got the old timers.
No, I totally get it, but thank you, Pamela, for being a guest on these GLP-1 streets. You know, I want to make sure that I talk to all the members of our community. You know, looking to have Grays on, looking to have Bellflower on. You know, everybody who's in our community, just to tell their story. And Darian, I want to get you on RMZ. We have to do this, and everyone else, you know, who's up for it. You know, let's definitely do it. But from the bottom of my heart, Pamela, I thank you too, because you've been very supportive of me when I first got into this game. You know, you subscribe to my channel, comment on it, and I really appreciate that. Grace has another question, so here we go. Boom. Pamela, how do you convert people who are fearful of rare complications of a GLP-1? Grace, she force chokes them. Remember how Darth Vader would do that force choke? That's what she does, force choke.
You gonna take this shot?
Yep, you failed me for the last time.
I mean, really, all you can do is provide people with information. People have to make up their minds for themselves whether or not they want to do it. I think that there's a lot of misinformation going around. It causes cancer. It causes, you're going to lose half your bowels because you're going to be so constipated, and they're going to have to cut it out. And, like just stupid stuff. And people are that telephone game that we used to play as kids where you sit in a circle and one person whispers something to the other person. I think by the time the misinformation goes around, it just gets worse and worse. And so people just really need to be educated. And that's all we can do is educate people. And, they have to make their own decisions.
That's so true. Taisha says this: I've been subscribed to all of you, but rarely get to. That's what I'm talking about.
You know what, Taisha? I found that they're going to my spam folder. That's why I'll go on and I'll say, notify me when this person goes live, and it goes to my spam folder.
So, I wonder why they do that, right? Right? Yeah, yeah. Nicole says, I'm camera shy. It's all right. You know what? We'll have some cocktails before, and that'll chill you out. So, and then we can have a conversation. All right, Gray's giving the laughs up there. All right, Darian. Gray says, Darian, your interview with Downsize was incredibly warm, educational. Yes, it was. And I remember I told RMZ about it. I said, Darian was on the Downside. She's like, what? So, Darian, that was your coming out party. So Darian, we're gonna do it too, brother. That's what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do. Dee says, I didn't always get notifications either.
Yep.
YouTube needs to. They do. And
I wish you could send text alerts, because I don't always get the notification of my emails, but I'll get my text alerts. So I wish there was a way to get it on you as a text. Yeah.
And here's RMZ says this. He says, Grace, he didn't even know you had a channel.
Yes.
Algorithm.
Go subscribe to Grace, because she is doing the thing. Her channel is amazing.
Yeah, and she has that. She has like you, Pamela. She has that amazing smile too. I remember I said that in one of my videos. I said these are the ones that got two of the amazing smiles out there. I mean, Grace, I would love to be in your classroom. I mean, you seem like a really cool teacher. But Grace looks like too. If you get her upset, she ain't gonna mess around. Ain't that right, Grace? All right, we'll go through. Yeah, it is crazy, Taisha.
No, Grace.
If it's not fitting the narrative, they're not doing it. And I'm not trying to be conspiratorial, but it's just, it is what it is. I pretend to have a channel. Stop making my head. Nah, Grace, you guys are awesome. And
I'm sorry. You know, Grace had a good point. I think it's the genre of the channels too that limits how much they're pushing it out.
Yeah, because you know they push out others and they suppress the others, and we're gonna break that code. And Taisha,
right.
Taisha, I'm loving Taisha's new format where she's sitting on the bed with Sybaris and doing her thing. Taisha, I mean that is really cool. Taisha, I mean you like the sister who's telling us and keeping us on the right track. So really good. Purple Bellflower, Nicole, she's my conspiracy sister. You didn't know that, but she said facts all are facts. So yeah, that's my conspiracy theory buddy right there. But Pamela, thank you again. I kept you longer than expected, but I'm glad we had a chance to fill some questions from followers out there of you, admirers of you, and we were able to connect people. Like RMZ didn't know that Grace had a channel, so now they're connected. Darium, Darium, where's your channel? You still got your Substack? If you have your Substack.
Darren, put your Substack in the chat if you can. Yeah, actually, Darian, I just shared your Substack with somebody this weekend that didn't know you had it. So, yeah. Yeah,
Darian, put your Substack in the chat, please. Oh, that's what I wanted. This is what I wanted to ask you. Your bestie is so fortunate because every time you making a meal, I made this for my bestie. I'm like, they getting the hookup. How can I be your bestie, Pam, so I can get some meals? What's up with that? I mean,
I hope she's watching. I sent her the link to this because she's not a YouTube person, and for the longest she didn't even know I had a YouTube channel. And then when she found out, she was hurt that I didn't tell her. But I did send her the link to this, and she said she was going to watch. But I don't know if I didn't text her and remind her. But I hope she heard you say that.
Yeah, she hit the hookup every video. I made this for my bestie. I made this for my bestie. No way.
Yeah, we kind of have a bartering agreement, like she loves for me to come over to her house and cook gumbo. So she'll buy all the stuff and I go over there and cook, and then she does all the cleaning. And I'm like, that works for me because I can cook to no end, but I don't want to get in there and have to do the dishes afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this connection that we have is really awesome. Yeah. I love what Didi said and Taisha. When I first got into this game, I didn't know what I was doing. I went straight to YouTube, and I told this to Taisha before. And the first live video I came across, Darian, I'm glad you're on there too because I want to give you your flowers. The first live I watched was Taisha's, and so Taisha is talking about her. It was her Monday live. And while I'm in there, I'm just like, oh, I'm going to ask some questions. So I asked some questions to Taisha. And then right away, Darian was like, hey, welcome. Mel to the B was like, welcome. And Didi, where is Mel to the B? She ain't never watched one of my videos, ain't commented on my videos. Where is Mel to the B at? Tell her I'm going to feel some kind of way. Did I wrong her in another life or something? Where's Mel to the B at? But they were so inviting to me, Pamela. They were just so nice. And I remember Darian was asking me where I was in my journey. And I was like stressing out. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna lose any weight because that's when I was only weighing myself once a month. Mm-hmm. And then Darian was like, no, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. And I thought Darian was giving me a lot of who shot John. But 3 weeks later, Darian hit me up. We're watching Taisha's live. Hey, how did your weigh-in go? And I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. He did remember. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And that helped me out so much. And Grays, I remember Grays commented on the downsized channel. I said, oh, losing a Grays. She's pretty good. Let me go to her channel. Went to her channel and I'm like, oh yeah, and then like you, Pamela, too. I was like, oh, Perfectly Pamela. So thank you all. Thank you all. Darian, put your Substack in the link if you can. We want to give that out.
Did I see somewhere in the comments that today is Cookie's birthday? I
Cookie,
saw
how old are
some.
you? Already Cookie 12?
I saw someone saying happy birthday way back.
Let's see if Cookie's gonna respond.
I'd like to acknowledge that if so. I'm so bad. Like, I love that you mentioned about how Darium came back at 3, a few weeks later. Happy belated birthday, Cookie. My neighbor. Cookie is my neighbor. She's down the street from me. I say down the street, but we mean down the street and around the corner. So
nice. So she's an H-Town too.
oh, look, my bestie is in the chat. Hey, chicken.
Is that her right there? Oh, there she is.
Chicken.
All right. And her name is Chicken, right? That's her nickname?
We call her Chicken. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Chicken, what's up? I'm Paul. I'm fam too. Chicken, you are very fortunate. I'll be watching the videos where Pamela be cooking that food. Like, this is for my bestie. This is for my bestie. Did you know she was doing that on the videos? Or did you just find out? Because that was pretty cool if she just found out. That would be pretty awesome.
But I wanted to say, I'm glad you mentioned that about Darium saying that, because that's the thing about this community is you meet all these people, and the only people I've only met 2 people face to face from this community, but it's like everybody is their family. Now I know your family because you call me Pam, and I told you that's the story behind that. I told him nobody but my family calls me Pam. Everybody calls me Pamela.
Absolutely.
But I was like, but you can call me Pam, and we fam now. So
definitely
that's our little inside joke.
Absolutely.
But it's like everybody, Dee Dee's my sister, Taisha, my sister, like everybody is family, and I love that. And I'm bad with remembering birthdays and stuff, but I noticed Dee Dee, she writes them in a calendar, and I'm like, I'm gonna start doing that, right? And when I see, okay, somebody said their birthday's coming up, I'm gonna write it down so I can start remembering this stuff and mentioning these people and saying happy birthday. So, but yeah, Aaron is real good about that. He'll bring something up months later. Hey, what happened with this?
So Pam, you mean to tell me Chicken didn't know you was name checking her in your videos?
Probably not. Well, again, she didn't know I had a channel until like 6 to 8 months into my journey.
Oh wow.
So when I tell you, I didn't tell anybody anything. She did know I was on a GLP-1 at that time, but yeah, I would tell her I'm buying this camera just so I can take videos. I never told her I was putting them up anywhere.
So in other words, you did an Aaliyah. Did not tell nobody. I'm talking about anybody. Right.
Right. She just happened to be at my house one day, and I was editing a video, and she was like, what are you doing? I said, I'm editing a video. And she was like, for what? And I was like, for my YouTube channel. And I hurt her heart so bad, and I felt so horrible because she almost cried, and she might have did. I think I did see a little tear come down, and I was crushed. I was like, okay, I'm not keeping any more secrets.
Oh wow!
But yeah,
wow. Thank you for sharing
I'm
that.
the lucky one though in that relationship because she's good people.
Now I know on your Simply Pamela IG is your bestie in there on those pictures?
Oh yeah, I'm sure oh yeah, definitely, because we just had our Secret Santa a couple of weeks ago, so she's in some of those pictures.
Yeah. And Dee Dee, we're with you with this grief that you're dealing with. I was talking to Pam before this. Pam, when did your dad pass away? What year?
Oh my gosh, 21.
Yeah, and my dad passed the same year as Pamela's dad, 21. And when you lose somebody close to you, Dee Dee, we know it's like an unnatural feeling. It's like it like takes your breath away. You feel paralyzed. It's just, and it took me like almost 8 months I mean, I stopped doing my shows that I had. I just went into like a shell, and it wasn't until like 8 months later I started like, okay, let me get it together. Let me shake it a little bit. But death. That's why in the Bible it calls death an enemy, because it's like it hurts us so bad. So we're with you, Didi, and Pam. Thank you for being there for the community too. Really appreciate it. Taisha said, Aaliyah was my girl. Nobody. I talk about anybody. Man, that's when we all was young. Remember, we were all probably in the clubs back there dancing off of that, weren't we?
Yeah, I still remember where I was, what I was doing when the news came out about the plane crash, and that hurt.
Yeah. Oh, Taisha, thank you. Taisha's a member. Thank you, Taisha. I think Taisha is my first member. Thank you, Taisha.
I was just gonna say, I didn't know you had memberships.
Yeah, I just did it the other day, and
I'm gonna have to do that.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, I had it for a long time. Never did anything with it. So let me turn it on, see what happens. So, but yeah. All right, Pamela. Let me go through here. Calamity Jane giving up some prayer emojis. Here's Didi says she's been checking on me daily, like real friend do. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I know you're all busy, but I appreciate it. Nah, like that, Didi. Cookie says, I love me some Pamela. Look forward to meeting you someday soon. And yes. Cookie took them glasses off. And look how Cookie looked like in that picture. She got no glass. Cookie's like, I'm coming out the shell looking at her. Look, go on, Cookie. Took them glasses off. Cookie said, I'm fine. I'm gonna take these glasses off.
I'm coming out.
Yeah.
I want the world to know.
Yeah. There's Taisha says, I was such a huge fan. People were calling me to check. Oh, wow. When Aaliyah died. Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff makes you believe in that Illuminati stuff, don't it? Because it's like out of nowhere, they weren't even supposed to she wasn't even supposed to get on that plane. And what they did was they put all that on there. And I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna go down the rabbit hole. Let me stop. But thank you, Sister Shay. Thank you, Sister Shay. All right. Oh man, I'm sorry, Didi. All right, thank you, Didi. Membership, thank you, Didi. All right, it's Cookie. What did Cookie say? Took them glasses off. Man, that was an old picture before I needed pictures. Well, this one right here or the one you had before? Because this you now? You married, right? Because you better tell people to step off. All right.
Big brother.
Yeah. Tell them they gonna be trying to do that what's that called? Love Connection on YouTube. You gotta tell people, I am not available. You tell them that.
Oh, she's saying this is an old picture before she needed glasses. That's what
okay. Thank you, Pamela. I look at stuff, and I said this on Taisha's her live today. Like, I just skim through stuff, don't even pay attention. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay, that was before I needed glasses. Okay, sounds good. Well, Pamela, you gotta work tomorrow?
Yes, I do.
All right.
But I worked late today, so I'm gonna go in late tomorrow.
Cool. Yeah, I work remotely. I've been working remote since about 2010.
Yeah,
so when the pandemic hit, I just slid right in, and so I'm one of them vampires. Sometimes I stay late at night doing things, but Pamela, thank you again. I mean, it was a delight to get to know you better. How's your daughter doing? You said your daughter was on the Trizepatide. How's she doing?
She is doing amazing. I asked her if she would be considered coming, like doing an interview with me on my channel, and she's like, I don't know, but she's doing amazing, and she's so disciplined with getting out and walking and strength training and doing all the things that she is on it. And I'm so proud of her. I need to take that motivation from her to get back on my exercising.
That's cool. That'd be cool if you all did a segment together. That'd be cool. And tell her, I don't mind having you both on together, do a segment, and mama daughter thing. That'd be pretty cool.
I don't know if she would feel comfortable doing a live. I might can convince her to do something that's edited where she can approve it before it goes on there.
I could do that too. I could do that too. I aim to please, but you know, Pamela, I really your story resonated with me, especially Dee Dee. You did a great job, you know, and Dee Dee, I forgot to say this through the whole live. Geez Louise, I forgot to say that, Dee Dee. I forgot. You know, the patented Dee Dee, geez Louise. So,
right.
so yeah. So Dee Dee, you tell little Dee Dee we said hi to, and Pamela, you are an amazing person. Thank you so much for being who you are. I mean, you are doing fantastic. And I chose that thumbnail of you looking at yourself in the past and looking back and saying, look at me now. And you look amazing in that, in both pictures. You know, you were beautiful before, you're beautiful now, and keep doing what you're doing. And whatever we can do to help you out, you know, we're gonna get you to them 1,000 subscribers so that you can get that monetization and get you a few pennies a month, you know.
Right.
All right, everybody's saying goodbye. Simply Taisha says, have a fabulous night, fam. Love you guys. Love you too, Ty. Have a good night, everyone. Headed to bed. Good night, Dee Dee. You know we love you. All right. Thank you, Calamity Jane. Thank you so much. Love y'all. All right. Geez Louise, there you go. I'm going to email you about. Oh, yes. Please do that, Dee Dee, because I'm trying to retire like you. That's what I'm trying to do in a couple of years. All right. Saying goodbye to the community. All right, Cookie. Thank you, Cookie. Goodbye. We love you as well. Grace, thank you so much. Grace, thank you so much. Don't you just want to hug Grace when you see her? I mean, she just has that huggable person. Like, come over and give me a hug, girl. Give me a hug. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you like that too. You like it too, Pamela. Oh, Pamela, your bestie. She has closing words for you. There you go.
Thank you. And olive juice.
Now,
and thank you, Paul, for having me. It was so fun.
You know, it's not going to be the last. You know, we're definitely going to do it again. And your bestie says, I'm so proud of my bestie. She is doing awesome. Yes, she is. And if we ever do a meetup like in Vegas or something, you know, RMZ is in Vegas. I'm only 2 hours away from Vegas. So if we want to take these GLP-1 streets to Vegas, you know what? Okay. We're gonna talk about this, y'all. We're gonna speak this into existence. We're gonna do real soon a first annual These GLP-1 Streets meetup.
Yes.
Either in Southern California or either in Vegas. So RMZ, he and I could put that together and have some fun. Or here's some more goodbyes. I want to make sure everybody says goodbye. Goodbye, Purple Bellflower Nicole. All right. Good night, King Darium. All right. Thank you, Z. Z, you're awesome. All right. You all are gold. Thank you, Grace. You are. Come over here, Grace. Come over here, Grace. Give us a hug. Come on, come over and give us a hug. All right. Yay, bestie. Yep. Taisha said, yep. Oops. I mean, heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Taisha said, I'm in Indianapolis. Taisha, you watching the game? You watching the Colts get beat by the 49ers? Is that why you kind of upset right now? I know you're in Indianapolis. All right.
Oh.
No, you didn't.
I wish I could, Cookie. I wish I could. I've got too many trips already planned for the first half of the year. So
hopefully when and I'll be in Vegas in a couple of weeks too I don't know if you guys ever heard of the CES Consumer Electronics Show, like the biggest show in electronics in Vegas. I'll be there. We'll be the broadcast team that I work for will be broadcasting live, talking about tech. I'll be doing a couple of panels there. RMZ and we're gonna meet up because he's in Vegas. So Cookie, if you're out there, let me and RMZ know. We'll stop by and say hi. And wherever you at, that'll be really cool. We'll take some pictures. And here's Taisha. I'm a non-sports gal. Okay, got you. All right. Here's Mid-January. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there from the 3rd until the 13th. So I'll be out there during that time. So 3rd to the 13th, Cookie. That's when I'll be out there. But everybody, thank you so much. And you know what? We're gonna go out to that song, Pamela. You want to do that?
Yes. Come on.
All right. All right. So Darian and everybody, if you missed the song, Darian, if you're still there, yeah, we're gonna go out to the song. Here we go. Let me find it. Pamela, thank you so much. Hit you up with some love emojis. Thank you so much. You're awesome, fam. So let's play this as we go out.
All right, roll. You about to hear Paul Mama Dear's Lane in these GLP-1 streets. Known by many as Paul on wheels. We making it do what it does, letting people know how I feel. Let's ride. We talking health, talking grind, breaking barriers clean. No excuses on the journey, we stay chasing the dream. Get your mind locked in, set your goals on repeat. We got ups, we got downs, but we still don't miss a beat. In GLP-1 streets, we moving with pride. Hear the trends, hear the wins, got creator worldwide. We make it do what it does, never stopping the climb. Living better every day, one step at a time. Shout out RMZ, always keeping it real. It's Darian with the fire, got the GLP-1 feel. DD the downsizing diva, Simba Tahisha in the zone. Losing it grace, bring the truth, steady holding on. Calamity Jane slide through, yeah, she bringing the flame. Perfectly Pamela moving strong, everybody know her name. Teddy D and Toby rolling steady on the rise. He's one-on-one locked in on that lifestyle prize. Traces of twine, showing how to stay consistent every day. Cookie cheering everybody on in a special way. May have Mindy been holding it down from the start. Purple bellflower, word hard. Slid right into them jeans, did her part. Met her to be keeping the conscience tight, keeping all of us in line just right. And a special shout out to the queen of GLP-1 street bar. Heather than he called, slaying this game for years. Someone we all look up to no matter the cost. Marjorie, Felicia, Murray B. And Joe's cross the sea. Yeah, this GLP-1 movement hits globally. We stay focused on the prize, on the life that we see. Welcome to these GLP-1 streets.
All right, Pamela, thank you so much. You were awesome.